Hello everybody and welcome to Sagittarius time. So as of today, November the 22nd, we will be having 30 days of Saggy time. So happy birthday to all Saggies, and hopefully this reading finds you well. So what actually I figured out over the 2 months of obsessing and finding the balance between what I can do and what I want to do, I would love that everybody gets hour to 2 to 3 hours readings, but it just reality is I don't have that much time. So what I'll be doing, each birthday sign each month is going to have a little bigger reading. However, I'm going to go to the old format where we will have tarot and Gypsy and Lenormand, and it was a winner. All of you liked it because it targets all of you, single, relationship, on and off. The other people we kind of like can get laid off the land. Also guys, before I forget, please, I'm just about to finish my annual scopes, and this is the last call for a pre-order price. Until the 4th of the month, for each individual scope it's $19.95, and for all of them it's $39.95. I have actually placed a preview. Wait for the end of this video and you will be able to click and get a really preview for the next year, so you can decide if this is what you want. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump. It is November, December 2017. We are finalizing the year. Hi Aries, and welcome to your December 2017. So let's see how will this year finish. Well, these are just some kind of overall general energies. There is something that you want to start, you want to kind of open, you want to reach out, but you feel there is something that is really needed to be built and repaired inside of you. You have two aces, two new beginnings, kind of like really realizing what needs to work. The very center here is the source, but it's reversed. So this is that cell, this is the egg that needs to be fertilized, right? We all won. Do you know how many millions of sperms try to get through it? Only one gets in, and that's it, it's done. There is a feeling for you that this month you kind of need to pay attention to so many details. So let's start off with hope. This is that ultimate star card. Something will be offered, and I don't know if you can see it. There is a person over here. The person, it almost looks like an arrow, and it's an arrow up. There is like finally renewed sense of hope. And isn't this whale telling us the exactly same thing? It is like this enormous creature that is living in its natural element in water, that is taking a break to really joyfully splash and be in the other element. It kind of like bask in, look what I can do. So imagine the will to get up and kind of like show in its all glory. It is like finally time for you to kind of kill that feeling, I cannot do it. It is a time for you to take your walls down. You have the miser card. In the upper situation, look at this lady. She has everything. She has this fur. She has all this kind of jewelry. But she's built around that wall. So imagine yourself sitting at home and having all of that. What for? What's the reason? You're asking yourself, actually, what am I doing? And that's kind of really weird that today, and this few first signs that I was reading, all of them have this lion, conditioned lion. All of us looks like collectively in December we are breaking these chains. We are coming back to some old issues where we actually really have to figure out what matters, what doesn't matter. We are kind of coming into our own form of maturity, but this maturity also coming with the fun attached to it. You guys are kind of like having a two sides of a story, which is kind of weird. I see it twice. I see the source and I see the maturity. One is the ace. Some beginning will not really be a beginning. You will need to begin differently, maybe a little bit later, maybe toward the end of the month, maybe even in the beginning of the new year. By the way, I just have finished your annual taroscope. It is actually very interesting. It is beyond interesting. You guys will really go into the full speed within a very short span of time, that you're going to forget all of it so quickly, and it's good not to forget. So it's still on the special until the beginning of December, so grab it, www.cattarot.ca/pre-order, www.cattarot.ca/pre-order. So it's still $19.95, or for the entire set is $39.95. Because these two are also two sides of a story. One it is, where do I want to merge? This is this Merkaba kind of thing. The light. Light means you are kind of dealing with your karma. Now you're the master of your karma. But in order to do that, you possibly feel you have been saddled with some kind of like other thing. You maybe have been living all your life being somebody you're not. Wolf in sheep's clothing, or in this case, lion in sheep's clothing. It takes only one majestic wow, and you guys are out. You guys are becoming a lion. These tied legs can be torn off. This is just simply conditioning, as it's called. But in your case, it's reversed. You are realizing that certain things that have happened to you are needing attention right now. This is why you kind of have a repetition on this. Like, there is a stability that you need to kind of establish, and there are relationships you need to establish, because you have 2 4s, you have 2 6s, and you have 2 1s, right? Clearly stating the message. They're all very stabilizing numbers, all of them. And to boot, there is the healing, and there is like this playfulness and fun. So it is that realization, it is that confronting, is that facing. And it's only then really ability to be truly expanding and truly be loved and truly enjoying. You guys are going to have interesting month, but you know, it takes a really biggie to kind of like overcome these 2 things, because most of us build walls because we don't want to be hurt. But then when you build walls, you also build walls from good things to come to us. And there is this understanding that, yeah, wait a minute, we really need to kind of like really figure out that we need to be stronger. To some extent, this is going to be really hard, because it's really hard to kind of let go of things that we feel this is our core, this is who we really are. And this is kind of falling underneath us. We will really have to question the very same thing that maybe worked all our lives. Maybe it worked all our lives because we were pretending to be a sheep. But now, maybe we are realizing, you guys are realizing, that you actually are a lion, and you'll be ready to roar. And when you become ready to roar, things will start happening with really great velocity, coming into this maturity, building something slowly, long-term, slow and steady wins the race, with participating with the others. I think some of you this month might be moving to the next level of some kind. That feeling of stabilization, this feeling of something has to end for something else to kind of come to the surface, and shedding these chains where maybe you kind of like felt something have been missing. It's done. It's done. It's over with. You're okay in any element. You're okay in any circumstance. You're opening yourself to the other people. You're realizing that you are the solution. You're realizing that you just cannot live somebody else's life. That this is a harsh lesson to pay. and you're moving toward this union. You're moving this lovers, understanding choices that are good for you, choices that you want to make, not choices that you have been settled up with. So let's see the tarot portion of your reading now. Yeah, she really needs to participate. You like Aries? Huh? You were in their annual reading too. Huh? What did you think? Huh? Are they going places? Really? Big times? So much that you're telling them kiss my thing here? Right, Aries. Guess what is interesting over here? You have to repeat. That was this card of participation that was called over there. And this is card of lovers. This time it is reversed. Right, Seffi? So there is a central... Okay, let me actually just tell you the cards because some of you don't know this deck. We have Four of Wands. Then we have King of Pentacles. We have the Lovers reversed. I have the Fool reversed. Six of Swords reversed. And Knave of Pentacles. Then Knight of Pentacles. Then Knight of Wands, which is you. Knight of Wands reversed. Knight of Wands reversed. And Nine of Wands reversed. And the Sun reversed. So I can totally see how, you know, that star is healing and generating. But it looks like, given that you're Aries, given that you have this enormous need to go something very strong, very fast, you will run out of steam. You guys need to pace yourself this month. There is coming back to something, coming back to some issues that maybe are not necessarily the most pleasant issues. Coming back to not necessarily the same old, but to some things that actually need to be addressed. I think quite a bit of that things has to do with your foundations. You have the King, you have the Knave, and you have the Knight of Pentacles. So this is talking about the different layers of maturity. I think it will be setting up the budget. It will be figuring out your choices. What are the choices best for you? And it will be strategizing. But it looks like you will try to speed up the process because I see two distinct streams. I see Pentacles, and then I see air, and then I see fire. There are no cups, guys. Cups is something when you go deep, when you go slow, when something becomes solid. Not for you this month. It's movers and shakers, guys. You're coming back. You're clearing all issues. You may be even foolish about it. Sort of like you're a little bit like an elephant in a china store. But you do have to tell you, you will be establishing one thing. You will be going to the next level of whatever the next level is. I think if you have a business, if you have a job, you will be either undergoing some kind of training. You'll be very studious. You'll be very willing to kind of roll up your sleeves and do this work. Even though you'll try to jump the gun. You will kind of say, sure, I will kind of do this work. As you see, this little goat is not moving very fast. I'm going to say, yeah, let me kind of jump this fox and become foxy. But that's going to kind of explode in your face and make you give up and make you burn out. Guys, you do not have this much energy. You need to be prepared. Strategy is really needed. This is the card of strategy. This card tells me giving up when the strategy is not in place. But you have a lucky patron. There is possibly in your life King of Pentacles, or somebody's entering your life who is King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is somebody who is solid, somebody who is enjoying work, somebody who enjoys finer things in life, somebody who might even woo you. Maybe you're going to even consider dating this person. Maybe you are dating this person already. Maybe there is a new person coming into your life who wants everything with you. You're going to be like, wow, this is great. Maybe there is somebody old coming back to your life. Maybe you're coming back to the old issues, but these two cards are telling me something needs to be fixed. You cannot move forward, and I'm seeing that you're not moving forward here because you have both Lovers and the Sun, otherwise really, really good cards, reversed. And this is talking about exhaustion. Out of sheer exhaustion, you guys are going to just collapse. You're not going to even give up. You're going to be like, oh, here is the finish line, but you just cannot get to it. You'll just end up here and collapse. This English Patient movie comes to my mind. And honestly, I was like one of these people who laughed in the movie theater. The guy was like so suffering. For God's sake, just die. I know it's a movie. I just cannot believe this anymore. You guys really want something to happen very fast, but you're not prepared for it. Pace yourself. That's all I'm asking. These two cards can be reversed, and they might not happen in December, but they can happen if you go slow. And it simply could also be the two different Arieses that I see over here. One level will go slow and steady, wins the race. Those of you guys will do very well. You are subject to some kind of test. You may be coming back to some issues to resolve them, to redo them. You'll do very well. Somebody is going to come to your life who might not be, who might kind of appear initially. It could be a work person. It could be somebody who doesn't appear that appealing. Let's call it appealing. But who is going to slowly start opening their doors and giving you more and more and more. And because you build these walls, this is going to be kind of appealing to you, because this card always says this is a test. And then you're going to realize that with this person, you can actually really see yourself as building something really, really long. This could be Taurus. The Fool is generally an air sign. And I see Sagittarius. And I also see maybe really a choice between the two people for some of you. It could be a choice between somebody steady, or it could be really even cheating. And it could be you who is the cheater. Because I see actually 3 people. And that's what the Lovers card says, making a choice. What if you make a wrong choice? And I will tell you, the choice is going to be the one that looks the most appealing. It's going to be the wrong choice. Mark my words. Slow and steady wins the race for you this month. So let's check your Lenormand, and let's sort of see what kind of circumstances are coming your way. Alrighty, Aries. Let's see the lay of the land for this month. 2 significators. By the way, this is not easy. 32 cards on the table. I'm reading them all at the same time. The very next is going to be Gypsy spread. 52 cards simultaneously. We're going to see more people, emotions, and things that are flying our way. So let me just give you kind of what I see here. Here's the gentleman and here is the lady. So, which means, let me see if I can make it tiny little bit closer to you, that either of them can be your significator. Look, some of you will communicate. Some of you will kind of reawaken your passions. You're leaving some kind of job worries behind you. You're wising up. There are a few things that happened about a couple of months ago that kind of did really strike you as important. It was something karmic that happened, and you have run into some kind of huge problems that you were trying to resolve. I would even say these issues were at work. You have been dealing with people who kind of had been underhanded, I would say. But certain things that maybe you think have to be put to sleep are resurfacing and kind of are reworking. You still are kind of iffy over the few issues about how they are going to materialize, especially when it comes to money, or even where you're going to live and where is basically your core and who is basically in your heart. But I see something from the past resurfacing over here. Something that maybe dates back 9 months. And it's the same thing that is making you very happy. But it's also the very thing, this could be a person with children, but it could be also that you get pregnant. It could be the person who also both makes you happy and makes you confused. It could be somebody who is well off, but also somebody who you possibly consider a snake. Snake is kind of weird weird card in Lenormand. It's not negative, it's neutral. It depends on the other cards. But like you also have another 2 cards or another 3 cards that are also kind of like in the same way. So it's kind of going to be interesting situation over here. I think in December, you sort of like are going to stay close to home. And as I said, somebody might resurface. Somebody might be actually resurfacing so fast. Maybe you're already chit-chatting with this person before you even kind of like seen this video. There are conversation, some exchange, and there is like some sexual energy in the air. It's kind of a nice change from what I see. You kind of like felt that possibly November was and my apologies for not doing November, but I was literally exhausted. I suffered mental exhaustion, so that's why I'm kind of like making sure that this is done. Your guys' annual is done. Feel free to order. You will get the link right away. It is $19.95, as I said, or order all signs for $39.95, but that's going to switch around the 1st, around the 4th. I'm not completely sure. I reserve the right to do that. Depends when I finish the others. So guys, this is really good. But then again, I see 2 significators. For the other one, I don't see much. You see, it's going to be 2 different types of you. So one can be you, one can be your significant one, or both of them can be you. So if it's both of them, that they're 2 different people, 2 different Aries that I'm picking up on this energy, then one of them will want to kind of like settle down, will want to find this partner who maybe is a past partner where now you're entering into more solid relationship. Maybe there was turbulence in the past, maybe there's still some kind of like insecurity moving forward. You're still not sure about the longevity, you'll be questioning this, but you will go. You will kind of take your walls down because you have both the sun and the stars, but you also have the ring and the key. You guys might be moving. Some of you might be moving, that's what I'm saying. Some of you might really want to kind of realize where is the heart, but the others kind of like are all into kind of like sexuality. Like sex, lots of sex. You see, some of you will want to travel, but I think this travel will be either postponed or something will happen that will have to be kind of like done at a different time. Meeting and greeting, Christmas time, it's going to be different. Maybe it's not even going to happen, or it's maybe going to happen in a different location from what originally you expected. Some of you have traveled last month, because I see the swerving of trouble and dealing with professionals. You're dealing with big professionals. They're somehow dealing with issues. Maybe you're a problem solver, or maybe you're having problems yourself, or maybe you're dealing with reputations of the other people or damaged reputations of the other people, and you are the key to their reputations. Maybe people get a snake, you know, what they say in their chest, and you're pulling it out and kind of resolving it for them. It can be seen many other ways. The core over here, what I see is a whole bunch of things. Health is important for you this month, very important. Get on with the program. You're going to jumpstart this before others. So everybody's waiting for January 1st. You're starting this month. You maybe want to be sexy, snake. Maybe you want to do that. It looks like there is like some kind of newfound dedication that you want to settle down, but you also want to feel sexy or sexual. You also want to pay attention to how you make income. You want to kind of look into something that is really long term. So sort of like, who are you with, where you want to go. It might be completely new contracts that might be going on. Ladies, you are in the house of the ship. So even those of you who want to put the anchor down, it's kind of weird. The few of you who actually will need to travel, will want travel, that's going to be delayed. Those of you who want to stay, you might be pushed into traveling. And that's maybe why in tarot we saw it coming back to something. Maybe something is going to pull you back into some old issue, or you're going to be pulled back to some other person or old person that has been in your life. Because there is definitely a person, because this is falling in the house of the heart, which is right next to you. There is a huge connection with someone. That someone could be actually a long distance relationship, because the ship sometimes can mean that, right? Because you are in the house of the ship, which is here, and they're in the house of the heart. So it could be something that maybe got unglued as well, so that distance was maybe just mental, that you separated, maybe you broke up with someone. That kind of can be seen. The heart is in the house of a whip. So this is somebody who you actually are very, very attracted to. 3, 4, 5. This is kind of interesting because the snake is in the house of the mountain. So yeah, just like what I saw here, somebody from about 9 months ago, or even 7 months, 7 to 9 months ago, is like something that I see. It's kind of like coming back to the fore. Something that maybe seemed to be very clear, and you knew the path you want to go. You run into this fog, and then you run into the sun again, and then you run into the stars again. So you guys are starting to date, that's for sure. But you still don't know in which direction you want to fully go. You don't have that as a definite. The others are dealing with lots of things, lots of balls in the air. You have to put lots of fires to rest. This card worries me. The mountain in this position is not good, which means you're still dealing with some kind of core issues, and those issues could be work related, or could be health related, or could be connected to your family. So you'll be getting some messages about that. Be very careful with Mercury retrograde. You have really ill-advised travel. So if you are the one who is a driver, who is using your own vehicle, make sure that you check your oil, you check your tires, and you know, all the stuff that the mommy and daddy will tell you. And let's check your Gypsy spread so we can see more people, more emotions, and all this kind of like court intrigues that can actually be in play here in December. Alright, Aries, let's check this one out. So again, this is a grand tableau, but it's for basically Gypsy Oracle cards or Sibylla cards, and it's Italian divination method. It has lots of intrigues. As you know, Italians are very expressive, so lots of things are happening at the same time. So I'll just point out to you a few significators that I look. One is like a young woman for the younger ladies. There is a wife with children. It could be for ladies with children, but it doesn't have to be, because this is a general reading. Then we have a lover, which could be a single person, and a sweetheart, which is also a single person. Then we have foe and enemy, which could be people, could be us being an enemy to ourselves. And then there is Lord. Lord is here. Lord is either somebody who is married as well, or somebody who is well established. And then we have friend among the others. So let me see what I see for you in this month. Some of you, especially those who are mothers, try to establish something with somebody. But I think it's some of those on and off relationships where you're going to try to have a new start, but it always feels like it's not going. Or maybe there are too many people in a game. Maybe because you see this misfortune is between these kind of two things with starting this new life. But this person also is having somebody else in mind. Somebody else who is possibly also from the past, or who might stay pregnant, and it could be like shocking, unexpected pregnancy. It's kind of weird. Like, I mean, these two people are trying to make it work, and they may be even going into therapy trying to figure it out, but there is like some kind of suffering over here. Something has been taken away, the sense of security. Something has been violated, some kind of agreement. I think it was another younger person that kind of like messed up with the situation. This person, who this person wants somebody else who is taken. So it's kind of like really weird, right? And this person is, if you're this person, you might be confiding into somebody who is basically digging the hole underneath you, who kind of like does want this person for herself or himself, and is thinking how to undermine you. So you are confiding, you're being very honest, and there's going to be lots of communication, especially on single ladies, telling, oh, you know, maybe some of you are really even thinking, oh my gosh, how do I seduce this guy? And I like him so much. Maybe you're not even aware that this person is, you know, married. Maybe somebody forgot to tell you this, because I see here pleasure seekers, and I see here cheerfulness and love. There definitely also was some kind of like breakup, because there was some kind of sadness and sorrow, and this person kind of like did let you down. And hence, for some of you going fresh, it's kind of hard. And maybe on one hand you want to communicate, but you're more or less communicating with your friends. On the other hand, you're waiting for this communication to happen from this person. And yet, even if it happens, you don't really trust very much from what you hear. Also, be very careful not to stay pregnant, especially not with someone you don't want. Then I see, again, involvement possibly with a third party or with somebody who is married. Somebody who literally is forgetting to say things that are really important. Again, I see this long distance over here. And maybe something is happening behind somebody's back. It could be something related to something long-term, or something that is kind of really important. Very confusing, I have to say. Maybe you guys will be able to tell me better about this, because all the significators are clustering over here. This here person has most of fun, and this person is the only one who is going to get himself out of things. But maybe reunion is not necessarily going to happen, but it's going to kind of continue going forward with kind of building step by step by step. Just like what we saw in your reading, you kind of like have to firm up your own core before anything can happen. And I can actually see that in every single segment here. Talking kind of doesn't get anywhere, because you are really not sure, one, that you're getting a good advice, two, who is your friend, who is your enemy. You're spending lots of time thinking, and frankly, from all this thinking, you're getting this headache. Oh my gosh, my head hurts. Why is this so complicated? This is not supposed to be so complicated. You Aries people, you like the chase. You don't like anything complicated. When things get complicated, you're out of the door. But this is complicated month for absolutely every single character here. Because look at this. Reversed. 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 Only some segment of single ladies out there will sort of like do okay, will sort of like come to yourself. But even those of you there who maybe have somebody from the past, not necessarily very interested, who maybe have an eye on somebody else and sort of waiting on somebody else. Maybe you're waiting for somebody's divorce here. Maybe this is his or her ex that is still waiting for something to happen, who's maybe stubborn, who's maybe even keeping, I don't know, possibly even kids as a hostage and going a guilt trip. But who's also kind of really wanting a piece of happiness for himself or herself. So there'll be certain things that this person is going to do to serve them that are going to be very false and that's going to undermine you. But you might do the same thing. You might look at this. You might intercept that. You will be able to intercept that and realize and kind of lock the door, because here he is opening the door, but here he's closing the door. I think it could be lots of communication about some kind of money, or it could lots of things be happening around Christmas time. You have the gift card right into the center. And kind of like that core with we saw anchor and displeasures. So lots of drinking, lots of being sociable, but at the same time, remember how I said like I have like two kind of different, distinctly different storylines. One, those of you who will go slow and steady will win the race, and I see that here as well. Look at this. Constancy is going to the messages, is going to surprise, pleasant surprise, which is the money, and there is like get out of the jail card. Somebody is becoming free and you're ready for the intimacy. Things are sort of like opening up on that little segment. But everybody else is dealing with some kind of like deep buried issues. And lastly, guys, to seal this reading for this month, and as I said, get yourself your annual reading. Let's see what card we get. And you got Magic Stream reversed. This is what it says. Everything is connected through the universal flow of consciousness. Reversed. In a reverse position, the Magic Stream card represents swimming against the current. Yay, that's exactly what I've seen. There are times when effort and sheer willpower result in victory and celebration. But this isn't one of them. You can't force inspiration, and you can't manufacture creativity, lest you borrow too heavily from others' ideas. Neither can you make someone love you, or orchestrate a series of events that might place you in a more favorable position. Now is the time to drop the trying, and jump into the stream and float. Immerse yourself in the experience of being fully present with whatever is true for the moment. You'll never step in the same river twice anyway. So I think that sort of like clarifies like all these activities. I think, guys, it is really, really important to realize that if you swim against the current, it's going to get hard. And this is why slow and steady wins the race. It would be really good to hear from you, because obviously I have lots of layers of Aries, or maybe they're like layers that maybe I didn't cover. So I would love to know what's going on, and you know, what kind of input you can actually tell me about these cards. What does it mean for you? Thanks, Aries. Order your annual taroscopes, and until the next month, I wish you a happy new year. Love you.